Hi, and welcome back to another episode of International Immersion. Today we have a very special treat. We are having my girlfriend Jamie from China talk to us about Chinese medicine. Jamie is quite interesting in that she's actually studied Chinese medicine and she actively uses it in her daily life. So we thought it'd be a great opportunity to talk to her today about how she uses Chinese medicine and provide people with some more information and details about her experiences both using it and studying it. So, Jamie, it's great to have you on today. And if you want, can you tell us a little bit about yourself to begin with?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Jamie Smart Chen. You can follow my Facebook. It's my name. Okay, anyway, my Chinese name is Yajing Zhen, so my family name is Zhen. Z-H-E-N-G. I don't think anyone can pronounce it well in America. Okay, I studied in Beijing University of Chinese Medicine for 6 years with my undergrad and grad school there. And my major was pharmaceutical about Chinese medicine, so it would put good use in like your daily life. Okay, Sean, do you have any questions to ask me?
Of course I do. I'm quite eager to learn more about Chinese medicine myself, but I've also experienced it, so I think it's quite interesting. But first of all, I think it's great to give a good introduction. So, Jamie, what, in your opinion, what is the idea behind Chinese medicine? We all know, we've all heard about it, we all kind of know how people use it, but can you provide us more of the idea or the methodology behind it, since you studied it?
Well, I think most of Western people, your idea of Chinese medicine is kind of fake, right? It doesn't work or whatever. But actually, when I learned Chinese medicine, at first, we need to learn the basic of Chinese medicine. It's not about medicine, the herbs. It's like they would tell you how your body function, and every organ, how do they work together. So, and also, I don't know if you guys have heard of yin yang.
Oh, we call it yin and yang.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, in just pronunciation different. Yin yang and Wu Xing, the 5 elements. The 5 elements, yeah, like 木火土金水, mu as in wood, 火 fire, 土 earth, 金 gold, 水 water. So these 5 things and also represent your 5 important organ. Your 5 important organ is like liver, like wood represent liver, and I don't remember that much. Kidney. Guess which element is that? It's water, kidney. And heart. Heart is fire. And earth, I think is represent 肝心脾 is feet. What's that word? I forgot. Spina was speed. The organ next to liver. Oh no, the organ next to stomach. And
there's the appendix.
Helping with. Let me check.
Well, there's the appendix. There's the intestines.
Spleen.
Oh, the spleen.
Is that word? Spleen?
You're right, the spleen, yes.
Yeah. Spleen is earth, and the gold is 肝心脾. Gold is your lungs.
Okay, so I see you kind of break down each one into these elements to represent one organ each. That's pretty cool. And then together they form kind of a system.
Yeah, how they work together.
So you could say it's more of a holistic approach. You know, they look at the big picture of the body.
Yes, so it's all about every organ, how they work together. So once something is wrong in anything, that your body show a symptom. But for Western medicine, you guys just focus on the symptom and like kill the symptom. But for Chinese medicine, you know the symptom, but they find the source of the symptom. Then they treat the source, so your symptom would go away.
I see. Okay.
With that.
No, that's a pretty interesting approach because a lot of times, you know, with Western medicine, you know, it's very complex. But yeah, that's the one thing I've kind of learned is that Chinese medicine has a very deep examination of what's going on with the individual who comes in with any problem. Okay, they're having this problem on the surface, but what's the root cause of it? Or how can we treat not only the symptom, but let's more focus on the root cause?
Yeah, it's more like a root cause.
Wow, okay.
So we cure the root problem, so everything would be fine. So we don't have to worry about symptoms. Because sometimes when you use Western medicine, like antibiotics, you got something wrong with maybe your throat, then you use antibiotics, so you got an infection, right? You use antibiotics, then it's fine right now. But after a while, maybe after a while, whatever, you got that again. So you use the same medication to kill the symptoms again. Then you thought you're fine, but you're not fine actually, from Chinese theory.
I see.
Because the root is still there. Yeah.
I see. Okay. So
I think that's the difference.
Okay, so the next question I'd like to ask you, Jamie, is how do doctors diagnose and prescribe it? Because you've given us an example of more of the thought or the thinking behind it. But how, from your experience, do doctors, you know, diagnose something and then prescribe the certain medication or certain type of Chinese medication for the person?
Yeah, and there are 4 words for the Chinese doctor how to diagnose a patient. It's Wang, Wen, Wen, Qie, 4 characters. One is watch. You have to be there. The patient has to be there, and the doctor just look at your face, because your face will show a lot, or your whole status of your whole body, how you stand, how you sit, how you do whatever. This is to check on from your appearance. And also, they would check your tongue, because your tongue shows a lot about your body. For example, if your tongue is really big and it has like a mark of your teeth on the edge, sometimes your tongue is not like, the edge is not smooth, it's like a mark of your teeth. So that means your body's qi is not that enough. Qi is something that hold up your body. Maybe it was similar. It's like similar like your immune system, but it's not. It's not quite the same. It's so qi that holds up your body. So if your qi is not strong enough, that you're kind of weak. You would become weak. So if your tongue, it's just a simple example. If your tongue is very big, it's like swollen.
Or you could say swollen. Swollen's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. So when you push against your teeth, so that's why they make the mark of the edge of your tongue. So that means your body is kind of weak on that part. And also the color of your tongue. If it's very red, if it's kind of purple, that means you got a clot in your body of your blood clot. Not actual blood clot. It's like your body's blood is not very smooth.
Oh, it's not the circulation. The blood as it flows through the body is not good. It's like it's having.
In Western way, you can say circulation, but it's not actual circulation. It's like when you are sad, and when you're very annoyed, when you have bad mood, your whole body's qi is not very smooth. It's clogged somewhere.
So you can maybe describe qi as more like the body's energy.
Yeah, it's like energy. It's kind of like that. So like women, if they get angry or get in bad mood all the time, they would have a lot of they would have lumps in their breasts.
Really?
That's
okay.
because of
Interesting.
that. Actually, it's not. It is that. It's not. I think I know it doesn't make sense from Western medicine theory, but it really makes sense in Chinese medicine.
Okay.
So because you're not in good mood, so everything of you is not smooth in your body, so kind of clot everywhere, somewhere. And for women, it shows in their breasts.
Well, that's good to know if you're
It's
a woman.
very
Maybe it explains a lot of things people here are having issues with, especially women. But
Well, we need to go back to how doctors diagnose everything.
sure.
Patient.
Okay, so that's one
this
example.
is the first one. Yeah, this is first one is watch. And second one is when is here. Listen. Then they will listen to how you describe your symptom. And maybe from the tone of your voice, of everything, they will listen just to have an idea of what you get. And next step is when. When is ask. They would ask you about questions like from the first two steps, they have a general ideas of different possibilities you could have. So they would give you some questions to narrow it down to the problems has higher possibilities. So it's ask what do you have, or what are other things that you didn't mention in the second step. Then the fourth step is most important, and also is most complicated one is qie. Qie is they check your pulse. For Western medicine, it's like, okay, check your pulse. Is it still beating? No, it's not like that. It's like your pulse shows different. Like some pulse, if some pulse, you beat really strong. In general, it means you're healthy. But if it's too strong, that means you got heat in your body. And also different parts of your pulse. That's your pulse is like under on your wrist, right?
Yeah.
Wrist.
Yeah, they can check your pulse on your wrist and then on your neck.
On your wrist, under your along with your big thumb.
Oh, really?
Not
Okay.
your neck. Your wrist. And you put 3 fingers there from your wrist under your thumb, and each finger means one of your organ. I don't remember. Every finger means different, which specific organ. But one finger represent one organ, and it's the 5 important ones, right? So the last finger, left finger is kidney. Left hand is kidney. Right hand is another. We call it 命门. 命门 is like your. It's hard to explain. It's another type of kidney.
Okay. So these are a couple of examples of how doctors would. So it actually sounds a lot like, going to a doctor here in the U.S. where they will. So the steps sound, very similar, but it's just more of how they actually perceive and evaluate are a little different, but they follow a similar set of steps.
Yeah, I think the most different part is the pulse part. You don't check your neck, you check your wrist, and every part of your pulse means different organ.
I
And
see.
you can check if any is wrong or whatever. And also the type of how your pulse beat means different things.
I see.
That's really complicated.
No, you bring up a really good point. That it's quite interesting just how they can be both so similar in how they, how a doctor or a physician will use their technique to figure out what's going on with someone, but at the same time they can deduce different things from it, from a very similar, series of steps. So that's very interesting. So kind of going off from that, so that's how doctors do it. But so on kind of a simple facet, how do you use Chinese medicine for yourself? Because I'm sure everyone can focus on different things, or everyone has different problems naturally, so they're going to use different allocations or varieties of it. But how do you use it in your daily life?
If I have like a chronic problem that I really need to go to doctor about Chinese medicine, I would just go to a Chinese doctor. Not Chinese face, I mean Chinese medicine doctor. Chinese medicine doctor, and he would give me, after 4 steps, he would have a diagnosis of me, and he would have me to take a certain type of combination of different plants. So they would write down, like this plant, you give them some like 10 gram. This plant, they give them 15 gram. This plant, they give them like 30 gram. This plant, they give them like 5 gram. Like it's a lot of plants. They would give you a lot of plants. Each plant have different amount. Then you take back home and boil them and drink the liquid out of that.
I see. So they
That's
pretty
how
much,
they give you medicine.
they basically, they figure out, okay, based on your situation, your condition, they know the ratio of what plant to use and what combination, how many plants, the amount, and then the ratio, and then they prescribe that to you. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh, interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, because each plant they have their own effect on each part of your body. So that's why they give you the combination. That means that's only for me going to doctors. I need to go to doctors, and I really need some special prescription for myself.
I see.
But if just simple like cold or whatever, like small problem, I would just go to the pharmacy that they have Chinese medicine, but not this type of Chinese medicine.
Like we could say, like over the counter. You don't need a prescription for it.
Yeah, it's like the soup. If you cook home, it's the soup, and they make them into different types, like pills or like small powder or whatever. They make them into different form, right? Form.
So you could say it comes like pre-packaged. You don't need a prescription for it. It's more like going to a drugstore here in the U.S. and just getting different types of, over-the-counter drugs.
Yeah. Except that it's Chinese. It's Chinese medicine from plants, different herb. And if I have a cold, I would go to the pharmacy and check which one that fits my symptom. Because I learned a little bit, so I know which type of Chinese medicine I should use. Because on the box they would show what Chinese medicine they use to make this medication. Okay,
so just like in the U.S., they'll have like on the back the description, the ingredients, the disclaimers.
Yeah, ingredients. So I would check the ingredients and pick which one that suits me. Then I mentioned cold, so I can say a little bit about cold. And you catch the cold. But in Chinese theory, you have 2 cold. Cold has 2 types. One is cold, the other one is heat cold. And always the cold transfer into heat cold in the last few days of your whole process.
Interesting.
Cold
Okay.
is actually you got cold. Yeah, you got a cold. You got cold. So you sneeze, you have a running nose, but liquid is coming out from your nose. It's quite clear. It's not yellow. It's quite clear, and you don't have sore throat.
So we call this more of a minor cold. It's not as heavy or not as like you could say more of a, in our viewpoint. It's more we call it a light cold, more of a light cold.
Yeah, so you feel cold, you're scared of cold, so that means cold. But in the end of the and when the whole process going by, in the last few days, it would turn into heat cold. Then you start have sore throat, and liquid coming out from your nose would
turn darker, become darker.
Yellow, green, wherever you start to have a headache, you always turn into that way. You start to have a headache, and you sometimes you have fever.
Now, would you say does it always change or not?
If you don't treat the cold in early stage, if your body's not strong enough to fight against and cure it, it always changing to heat cold.
Okay, so I see. So if you know it's coming, you start taking precautions, you start taking stuff, you may be able to stop it from going from a cold to a heat cold.
You can stop it. You can use the medicine in early stage to use for especially for cold. Then when you cure that, you don't have to worry about it. It will turn into heat cold, because heat cold is really feels bad. It feels worse than cold because you got a headache.
Oh, naturally, from what you just described, it sounds a lot. Of course,
Yeah.
It's just like we said. A light cold is more annoying. A heavy cold or full-on cold is just very debilitating. Knocks you down.
Yeah, because heat cold would last longer, and you start to cough. Ugh, that hurts.
Okay, so would you say there are any other ways that you use it for yourself? I mean, like you've described, like if you need to get a prescription or you just use it over the counter. So, how would you say, like moving on? How are some other like common examples that Chinese medicine is used that you know of, or that you either you use or people around you, or just a lot of Chinese use in general?
I know. At least myself, I use Chinese medicine for my period.
Really? Okay.
No. It's my period. No, I need to go to Chinese doctor to cure my problem. But normally, a lot of Chinese women, they have cramps. I think for Western women too.
Oh
They
dear,
have
all
cramps.
women have cramps. So you talk to any woman anywhere, I'm pretty sure they're going to tell you they have
No,
cramps.
it's not all. A lot of them, they don't have cramps. Really, it's not all of them. And the cramps caused by different reasons. So some of them is because it's too cold. Their body quality is too cold, so the blood cannot flow out very smoothly. So we have a theory: if your body is not smoothly everything, you cause pain. It causes pain. Yeah. So for example, they will have some Chinese medicine when they are having period. They take the Chinese medicine, the blood can come out.
I see. So it goes in line with the idea that the body, if the body is in smooth condition, it's functioning well, things will of course go smoothly. But if the body is out of whack, not like in the best of shape, of course it's going to cause the different processes and aspects of the body to function irregularly or not as well as they should. So it fits in very well with what you described, kind of the holistic approach of the body being in harmony.
It's just an example. It's just one example of women have cramps.
Yeah, but like you said, it kind of goes with the larger picture you're giving us about the whole idea of Chinese medicine. It fits very well into that perspective you're giving us.
Yeah, it's like in Western medicine for menstrual cramp, you guys just give them pain pills, right? It doesn't make it better. It just make you feel better, but it doesn't make this problem better actually. So yeah, that's just an example. And once remember, and your example, once when you were in America, then you got stomach problem and you really don't feel well. Then you go to doctors and then they didn't find anything wrong about you. But I know there's something wrong about you if you check a Chinese doctor. There's something wrong about you. So I give you the small.
That's when you gave me those small. They look like little bean pods.
Oh.
And then you took. Yeah, I remember you took some. You put them in hot water. They started to dissolve, and I drank that. And after a while, my stomach started feeling better.
Yeah, because a lot of problems you have when you check in Western way, in high tech way, when you check your blood, there's nothing wrong, but you don't feel well. So of course something wrong with your body. But in Western way, you cannot check it out. So you only need to. So the only thing that you can make it better is you can try another way to diagnose yourself.
I see. That's a pretty interesting.
Medicine will really help.
No, it makes it. I get what you're saying. I mean, everyone's going to have their own experience with anything they try, but no, it definitely gives a kind of interesting perspective to think about it in that way, and that what one can miss, one can get, or vice versa. Okay. So kind of going on from that is, so you've kind of explained how it's used, how it's prescribed, but when you studied it, what was it like studying Chinese medicine as a college student?
You need to study a lot. First, when I mentioned that, you need to study the whole theory of Chinese medicine, not the plants medication. I mean the whole Chinese medicine, how it works and how every organ works. That's the basic theory of Chinese medicine. Then you need to learn thousands plants, how they work. Each plants, how they work. Even they have like similar effects. They have different. They still have quite a different effects.
Yeah, they may be very similar, but if it's not the same, it's not the same.
Yeah, and also they have qualities. Some plants, they belong to like cold quality. So if you take that too much, your body would become clot. Some of places will clot because it's too cold.
So it sounds like a lot of memorization and a lot of knowing exactly what does what in certain situations, different circumstances. So it sounds like in many ways just learning like a doctor would here when they're going to medical school.
Yeah, and then you go to intern, and after you finish all the clinic study of Chinese medicine, you need to go to a hospital to do an internship.
Okay, so you have clinicals like we do here. So it sounds like it's a very similar process. A lot of background information, memorization, learning the functions, uses, etc., and then you actually go and do all the practical training and learning on site, and then eventually do an internship, and then after that you graduate.
Yeah, I think the most different parts is the medicine itself. I mean the plants. And Chinese and compares to Western medication, I think it's Chinese medicine is very, very complicated because each plant they don't just have quality, and also they work in different parts of your body. So you need to recite a lot. I remember a whole book I need to recite for 3 weeks. Finally, I got the first top rank in my major.
That's impressive, but I'm sure you study for hours upon hours every day.
Yeah. whole life there. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think most medical professionals, when they get out of school, they're probably just so happy they've gotten through the grind, and now they're able to practice what they've been learning so long and for so long and so hard. No, that's really cool. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So going on from there is, so now here's one that everyone's going to probably ask. In your opinion, what's your opinion of Chinese medicine versus Western medicine? Because, I'm sure you know about both, but, if you compare the two, what's your opinion when you compare both types of medicine or both methods of use?
Okay, let me compare. So first, as I mentioned before, I think Western medicine is more like a
Kill the symptom?
fast symptom. They don't just kill symptoms. I know that. They are more suitable for acute
Oh, yes.
acute problems like infections, whatever. But still more focused on superficial way. No, not superficial way.
Yeah, I'm not sure everyone would like that opinion, dear, especially doctors here.
No, not super. I'm just saying. I don't know how to describe it. It's more like symptom focused.
Yeah. Like maybe if they have
Western
injuries or trauma or infections, more like okay, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. For Chinese medicine, it's more like focused on root problem. So if you have a really, really urgent problem, you cannot go to Chinese doctor. Like injuries, you said that. But for fever, you can use Chinese medicine to calm it down. It can bring down. You can use certain Chinese medicine to bring it down. Especially for chronic problem. Is that a word? Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Chronic
You're right.
problem. Most likely Chinese medicine would actually help to cure that. I remember when I was in my last company, I got foreign coworkers. They're from European, and they had their brothers. They have really, really bad allergy problem, but Western medicine they cannot help. They can just release the symptoms, and they said you would carry this for your whole life. But they went to Chinese doctor, and then they take like 3 months or half a year Chinese medicine, because it's a long process. You cannot just take for 5 days, 6 days. Then you need to change the prescription every week. So you need to go to doctor every week. And for the whole process, after the brothers, they took like 3 months or 6 months of Chinese medicine. The problem is cured. Never happened again.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, thinking about that, so something that when they were back home, they couldn't figure it out, and they couldn't quite cure it or treat it effectively. But they do that for several months, and then they get the problem, if not resolved, managed very well.
Yeah, but there is a downside. For Western medicine, you can use machine to test everything out, and then the result is really clear, right? So even unexperienced doctors, they can tell what's wrong with you from based on the test result, right? But in Chinese medicine, we always tend to look for experienced ones, like really, really old Chinese doctors.
I see. So Western medicine, it can be more testing more the technology is used, whereas Chinese medicine, there's much more emphasis on the experience and the knowledge of the doctor.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, Western medicine's like that too. I mean, doctors, they develop a very good sense of what different types of symptoms or conditions people have from experience. But it sounds like that in Chinese medicine, it's even more important.
Because Chinese medicine is really complicated. Even two plants, they have almost the same effects, but there's just one difference. Then if you use the right once, you can get it cured. But if you use the other type, but just a little bit difference, it won't help. So you really need a lot of experience, because in the whole experience, you have tried different things. So you know which one, in very detailed, which plants would really help with this problem. So you need the experienced ones.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jamie, you could say that in many cases, both Chinese medicine and Western medicine, they can complement each other. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm.
So in many cases that, maybe a good recommendation for a lot of people is if they can combine both types of medicine, and together they can actually build up a very effective method for treatment, both short-term, immediate concerns, and for long-term treatment for long-term conditions or chronic conditions.
Yeah, like myself, I would combine Chinese and Western medicine. Like if I got a heat cold, I would take antibiotics along with Chinese medicine, because it would help with my symptom. I wouldn't suffer that much.
So in many cases, like you're saying,
but in the end, I won't have relapse.
I see. So in many cases that they can both support each other, where one is weak, one is stronger, or one lacks, the other one has more. So no, we could say it's more of a eclectic approach, combine the best of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to share with us about Chinese medicine before we wrap it up today?
I think that's pretty much it. And Chinese medicine have 5,000 years history. So I think it exists for a long time. So it means it makes sense. So I hope more and more people will believe it, and also try take a shot.
Take a shot at it. Well, yeah, and basically what.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're insinuating is that it's been around for nearly 5,000 years, so it's had 5,000 years to develop, and you can't really beat that in terms of time. So it's constantly evolved over time. So no, that's really cool. Well, Jamie, we really appreciate you giving us your opinion and your personal examples and general examples about Chinese medicine, how it's used, how to study, how it's prescribed, and everything else. So we just want to thank you very much for kind of giving us this insight into Chinese medicine through your perspective. And if there's anything else you want to say, we'd love to hear it. And this has been another episode of International Immersion, and we'll see you guys on the next one.